All right, film. We are here. We are film. This is Monday night. We are film podcast. It is December 15th, 2025. We are starting off this podcast with a little delay. Hopefully, we'll get our guest on here a little bit. But in the meantime, I think somebody's gonna fill in. So I'm just texting over this gentleman a link, and hopefully uh, he can jump on. So we'll see if this is gonna work. But in the meantime, let's get this show started. Let's get with our audience. I see there are some people up in here. I know the comments are coming in a little delayed. So let's verify the comments. We got Mr. Thomas King in the comments saying, "What is up?" So let's put that on here. And then we also got our co host, Mr. Ryan Wilcox, in the background. So we'll get him in just a second. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So before we get too much into it, so let's go with this here. All right. So our special sponsors for the week is going to be XPEL and TintWiz. So again, like every week, we want to give a shout out to our two sponsors of the week. Without the sponsors, we're not able to do everything we can. So big shout out to XPEL and TintWiz. They are the sponsors of the week. Thank you to both of them. And we'll get the chats up in here and get it going. And I'll bring on my co-host and we will get this going. So give me a second here. Just because I like this, I'm going to put this on here and then we'll get the chats. All right. So where is my co-host? There's my co-host. Let's get him on here. Mr. Ryan Wilcox, good evening, sir.
What's going on?
We can see your nose.
Here, I've been backstage. What was up with the like the otherworldly stuff? Is that something new or is that in restream?
Intro video. So like it kind of mellows you into the live and kind of gets the people ready. Adonis, what's up? Heidi, good evening. Trip Tana, what's up, my buddy? Rico, yeah, you missed this morning. Justin, what's up? Fernando. So got everybody covered. All right. So we have a special guest today, but the special guest, because of his position and what he does, had to put out some fires. So he is running a little late, but in the meantime, he has sent us his little buddy, little lackey, to kind of fill in the spot. So without further ado, let's bring in the little lackey. He's just a little guy. That's what he says.
Bro, I got your little guy. No. Hey, send me the link on so I can do it on my desktop.
Okay, I'll send it to you on your messenger, okay?
All
right, give me a second here. I love messing with this guy, man. Mike is always fun. All right. Oops, that's not what you wanted. He's going to be like, what the heck is this?
What the heck is this?
I knew he was going to say, what the heck is this? One second, buddy. Where did this go? Let's go here. Let's copy link. Send that address to Mike. There you go, Mike.
All right.
So that's the link. So you want to jump off from your laptop, you can.
Santa.
Mother Marion is awake, guys. Last 98% nice. Hey, little guy. See, Heidi gets it. Tim Ham is awake. Wow. Okay. That's amazing. All right. So good evening, guys. We have our special guest of the evening is Chris Hardy with XPEL. As I said earlier, he had a work thing that came up and he's running a little behind. So he will be joining us. He's just going to be running behind a little bit. In the meantime, we have our jolly old Mike Watson in here, who's going to be filling in and just entertaining us. So welcome, Mike.
What's up, guys?
What is up with you?
Trying to stay warm.
Good luck with that. It was 21 degrees out here this morning in Georgia.
Yeah.
Come get his weather and get it out of my yard. Yeah, Chris is sorry. He'll be on in about 30 minutes. He's up handling some fires in up New York way. So basically right now we're going to talk about what XPEL is going to do at the Film Fest. We're actually got a booth.
Calm down a little bit, man. Like you got to put the people in the motion. You're like up like right into it, man. Let's get to know you, Mike, a little bit. For the people that don't know who you are, let's start with a little intro of who Mike Watson is.
Well, I'm Mike Watson. I'm the territory manager for the Southeast U.S. for XPEL. Got a lot of cool dealers, and I got some not so cool ones over in Decatur, Georgia. But we let them slide. Not you, Ryan, the other guy. So.
Mike, I know you're doing the Southeast territory. You just came up on this job. How are you liking the job so far?
I love it. I started it in January of last year, and it's the best part of the job that I had because I don't have to worry about the office stuff. I get to do the part I enjoy doing, going out, meeting people, trying to get customers, taking care of my customers, not have to worry about all the back end office stuff. And it's been a blast it's hard to believe it's almost been a year. So
yeah, man. I mean, I was talking to Leanne the other day and she's like, damn, I didn't realize how much he did for me, and I missed that son of a gun because he handled a lot of stuff in the office. Is Watson single? Adonis want to know if you're single, Mike.
Only for him. Him and Tim got a fight over me.
Yeah, that's it. Looks like it's starting already.
Tim's already in there. He's saying like you're all his. Kind of cute. There you go. Adonis is giving you some compliments. So you want to cover some of what Film Fest is going to be for Hardy. Is that what you're trying to come in and get right down to business?
Yeah, so he kind of tapped me when he decided to do the show. What did we want to do? What were my ideas? And I said, there's a lot of marinas around Atlanta, Lake Lanier, Isle of Tuna. There's a lot and within an hour and a half, you got lakes up in South Carolina. So I said, look, you're launching this marine division thing. Let's put a boat in the booth. Let's do our marine PPF or marine coatings or marine window tint on these boats. And let's show people what it is about. So he asked me to reach out to Ryan Townsley and Jason Carr. I talked to both of them. Ryan's like, dude, let's do it. So we're gonna find a boat. We're gonna put it in the booth. We're gonna be demoing the PPF for boats made specifically for gel coat. Our marine coatings made specifically for gel coat, and our marine window tint. And we're gonna have we're gonna have a boat in the booth, and we're gonna do demos and let people mess around with it and see what they think about it. But we figured, it's a open market here in Atlanta for this kind of stuff. A lot of big marinas around. We're hoping we have some general public foot traffic we can invite some of these marinas out to see what we got. Maybe it'll drive up some business for our local dealers, and that's kind of where we're at. We want to blow the market up and then turn all this work over to our local independent shops like y'all's and all of around Atlanta as a new revenue stream. So everybody wins, right? So
That's kind of exciting, man, to have the first show with the boat in it, man. Like Film Fest being the first one to kind of feature that for you guys, and you guys kind of like showcasing the marina side because there's a lot of talk in the last couple of years with the marina.
Yeah.
You
And
know, I think that's gonna be a pretty cool thing to see, man.
I had a buddy of ours. Our boat's 13 years old. I had a buddy of ours did a full on. He fully on detailed the boat. After he got it done, it looked brand new. I put the V2 Marine ceramic coating on our boat. Talked to Jason. He said, "Yeah, you can put it on the seats and all that." That was kind of a mistake because every time you hit a bump, you slide out of the seat. That stuff is so slick. But I literally have not had to wash the boat. Just take a hose and rinse it off. No more issues with any kind of mold on the seats from sitting outside. It's amazing. It really does work.
Nice. So for this show, you guys are bringing in a boat. Is there anything else you guys going to be doing special for it?
We'll have an auto display going on too. We'll try to. I think our boat would just tell me, or our booth was 10 by 30. So, I'm trying to find a brand new wakeboard boat from one of my local marinas to let us use it. So it'll be something brand new that people can see. But some of these boats are running $200,000, and dock rash is a bad thing. People hit docks all the time, and if we can find some way to protect these boats, then it's just a whole new market. There's a lot of boat clubs around Atlanta where people can rent different boats on the weekend. They're trying to find a way to protect their investment because, Joe goes out and jumps on a boat. He doesn't care. He pays for the insurance. He hits a dock, scratches it. Well, with the PPF on there, it's going to protect it. So,
yeah. It'd be so much easier to rip a piece of plastic off and put a new piece on than go out and have it fixed.
Fix gel coat and repaint all that. It's a big process and very expensive.
Time consuming. Having them the machines down. You're not able to rent them. So you're losing money there too.
Exactly. And hopefully, Jason Carr will be there in the booth with us, I hope. So he'll be able to answer all the questions. That's kind of his deal now. So he's Mr. Marine as far as XPEL goes. And hopefully maybe Ryan Townsley come in town. He's the director of Marine and RVs for XPEL. So he lives in outside of Knoxville. So hopefully he can come down for the show too. We're trying to plan for everybody to be there.
He was talking. Remember at XTC, he had a lot to say about those big boats he was talking about down in, or was it Miami or somewhere he was talking about going down to?
There's some boats down here. We have some guys doing installs on, like Chris Brooks has been doing stuff. I'm not sure what product, but there's 80, 90, 100-foot boats down there. They're coating and protecting. It's crazy. There's a lot of money down there.
That's crazy. And then there's special training for the marina if you're applying that, so it's not as simple as doing the same thing as on cars and stuff on the PPF.
Yeah, obviously with the boat being different, there's no patterns other than the engine cowls, like outboard engine cowls. We do have patterns in DAP for those boats, but it's basically a bulk install, and it takes more than one person because you got a 60-foot long boat and you're trying to do a 60-inch wide piece. That you're not doing it yourself. You need several sets of hands. Yeah, Dean.
Mm-hmm. Dean says all the boats up there are frozen.
Mine's going to be frozen.
All he's doing is just blowing it towards down. He's like, okay, go down there. You go bother Watson.
Yeah, I message him once a year saying the weather's drunk in my yard. You can come get it.
Yeah, I was freezing all week last week, and I drove 800 miles yesterday down, and I got the same temperature. Like, what the hell?
It wasn't cold until yesterday, honestly. I guess it's Ryan's fault that he brought it down here because.
Oh, Jesus, don't even start. Steph's already kept me out.
Because it was pretty good on Saturday, honestly. It wasn't until yesterday, until you came down, that you brought that cold down. Well, what's Steph on this one here? So, how long has XPEL been doing the marina PPF?
I want to say they launched it last year around XDC, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Jason or Ryan are listening. Chris will definitely be able to add to it when he comes on. But it's been going on a good year, and they've got a lot of traction with it. They've been hitting a lot of boat shows around the world. I mean, Jason's been gone just as much as me down in South Florida. Boat
Yeah,
show.
Ryan was talking about that.
Yeah, Ryan's been all around the world at these big boat shows.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So are you guys going to be doing anything different on the, are you guys going to be jumping into the PPF color for the boats as well, or is this going to be the clear stuff?
That's going to be a Chris Hardy question when he comes on. So nice save there. I'm not sure what their plans are, but I'm sure eventually it'll morph into that.
You know what was funny was I was like, hey, man, you want to fill in for Hardy until he gets in? He's like, I don't know if I want to jump on and answer some question I'm not supposed to.
Yeah. So
I'm going to ask you some of these questions you're not supposed to answer.
Nice try.
We had that white stuff on the ground. Yeah. Fernando had picked up some of that white stuff for him and his neighbors, and then end up having to go to the chiropractor because he overworked his back. So you keep that white stuff up there. We don't need it down here. Atlanta will be shut down for 2 weeks.
Yeah. No more bread and milk.
Dean Mitchell says you're doing great. So maybe you should tag team Dean Mitchell in here, man. We haven't had Dean Mitchell online for a long ass time, right? Like
he's on here. He's been killed the last couple of weeks.
He's been killing it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him on live in a very long time, man. I forgot how Dean Mitchell looks like now, man, honestly speaking.
Well, you'll see him in at Tender Battles. He's actually going to make a guest appearance.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
There you go. Mike winning a surprise. Oh, that's what's up. All right. So anything else new, exciting that you want people to know about you, XPEL, or anything else going on in the world, man?
No, we just plugging along, trying to get into the year. Been emailing all of our customers with their end of the year numbers and what tiers they're at, and what their next tier is, and how they can go about reaching it before the end of the year. So just like any other business, end of the year push. Young Ryan, we keeping you awake, buddy?
Oh, a little bit. I actually fell asleep a little while ago.
Yeah, so it's just been I was gone last week. Had 32 different dealers I visited throughout Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, just trying to get my last trip of the year in, and got some stuff around Atlanta to do this week. Bunch of admin work. Got a lot of it done today. Got some dealerships we got to set up. I'll be setting up plotters at 4 or 5 different dealerships in Atlanta the rest of the week for one of my customers. And so it's just been trying to tie all the loose ends up before. So we got a couple days next week, Christmas. I'm going to be on personal time off the week of New Year's. So we're going to ease into I had to use it or lose it. So I figured I might as well use it. So and then we're getting ready for 2026, man. It's going to be huge. Got Tender Battles coming up. 2 weeks after that, we'll have XDC, and it's just going to be insane the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's kind of insane, especially with Tender Battles and XDC being in the same month, only a couple weeks away, man. That's a lot of travel for us, and we're actually now. I don't know. I've been trying to talk Thomas out of this, but I had suggested at SEMA that maybe he got a brand new truck, that maybe we drive down to Texas for Tender Battles. And now I'm telling him, like, dude, XDC is 2 weeks after. Let's just fly there. Now he's like, man, you're the one that came up with the idea. We got to drive down there, because he's already told a couple buddies that he's going to drive his truck down. So I don't know what the people think in the comments, but should we drive down there or should we fly?
Well, I'm gonna be down there at both of them. I'll fly on both of them. So, but I literally thought about driving down for Tender Battles and then coming back up and hitting a bunch of my customers in Southern Alabama and Southern Mississippi, which I still may do. But I mean, that 2-hour flight sure beats a 12-hour drive.
Dude, it's from Atlanta. It's actually more than 12 hours.
Yeah, so.
It's like 13, and it's like 13, a little bit over 13 hours. But it's one of those things, man. Like, do you take that drive? Do you stop at some shops?
That was my drive yesterday.
Or do you just get in a plane and take that 2-hour flight and relax?
Well, after my last adventure at the airport, I'm kind of skeptical about going to the airport right now.
I mean, that's because you want to carry your loaded pistol in there with you.
Yeah, I got the bill in the mail for that the other day too.
Oh, did you? They billed you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to know what that is.
$3,700.
Damn.
I'm gonna call it right before Christmas to see how good a mood they're in.
What is that? Is that like a fine?
Yeah, that's a fine.
Oh shit!
Well, the thing is, it was like $4,400, and they said if I pay it without going to court, they drop 25% off. So and then I talked to my lawyer. He's like, "Yeah, dude, if you got to pay court, you're gonna
it's
pay
not. It's an act.
Oh, it's a violation.
It's a
Homeland Security.
Oh yeah, okay. Like, I wasn't sure if it's just the airport. Federal.
Oh yeah, it's a felony.
Yeah.
Is it just a violation? Is it like anything else other than just a violation?
It's a money grab for them. The biggest problem, there was one in the chamber and it was loaded. So.
And what happens if you don't pay it? Then no flying?
You can go to federal prison.
You can go hang out with my brother-in-law.
No, I'm not hanging out with nobody in no prison. I'll go visit them, but I'm going to leave them on terms.
So do you got to pay it before the end of the year?
January 12th, but I'm gonna talk to them and see if I can whittle it down a little more. But I'm just pretty much, just gonna pay it, be done with it, because it could have been up to 15,000 in Atlanta. Yeah.
Whoa, 15,000, and they hit you with there's 37.
Yeah, and that's what I got a buddy with the FBI, and I called him. He goes, dude, if they knock that much off, he goes, just pay it, be done with it. So you're right.
Yeah. All right. Well, look who we got in the back room.
You guys see me?
Look at
Yeah.
you.
Wow, man,
Well,
I'm literally like mortified at me being so late. I'm so sorry.
You're okay, man. We heard you were putting out a fire, so officially.
Well, I'm currently sitting in Boston at a decent restaurant. I'm not gonna lie, it's called Eddie V's. I'm sure you guys have it. And I'm sitting with Rick Jeffries from Automotive Ins, Paul Keogh from Dealer Services, Thierry from Q Car Care, and Tony Mancini from I'm going to say Autobahn, but you guys would think, of course, of the great brand name Autobahn in terms of film. But there's actually a franchise company that I think they disbanded some time ago called Autobahn, but there's still a number of stores left over that still call themselves that from that original thing. How is everybody?
We're trying to stay warm, man. How's the weather up there?
A little chillier than you are. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, when the plane landed and I saw salt all over the tarmac, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Well, at least you got to see snow, right? Like, I mean, you're originally from Canada, so it's like for you, it's nothing, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, we didn't do the official introduction. So, if you take a second to officially introduce yourself for the people that do not know you, which I doubt anybody does not know you, but if you want to take a second.
My name is Tim Ham, Hookers and Cocaine. Also known as Chris Hardy, Vice President of North America for XPEL.
Awesome.
And I know there's a lot of people like Vice President Sales. Even my coworker here is like Vice President Sales. She's introducing me to all these dealerships today that we're running around visiting. And I'm like, you do know that that's actually not my title, but I'll take it.
Oh my God! Oh, she's gonna get a memo tomorrow, right? Like, hey, it's Vice President of XPEL, not sales. Oh,
correct. I'm sure I'll have a few reminders for her tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much, especially since you're traveling, and I know this is with your position, you have to wear a lot of hats and put out a lot of fires, and we appreciate you still committing to your timing and getting on here. I was really expecting you to be chilling back at home and be like, okay, hey, it's a good start of a Monday, and then you put out some little fires, but I wasn't expecting that you were gonna be going halfway across the country to put out some fires.
Listen, every once in a while, that's the responsibility. And when you've got $6 million, $7 million in revenue amongst 4 stores in one room, probably gonna have to make the trip.
I bet. I can imagine that. I can definitely imagine that. I think anybody would be like, okay, hey, man, everything else is secondary. This is primary. I mean, and
But
that's the thing you got to do. Customer service goes right there. I mean, I believe one of the reasons why you're in the position you're at is because you've done all the sacrifices and put yourself out there to be able to provide these kind of services. I know a lot of people, may not look at XPEL certain way, but it has nothing less than do with customer service being primary for all your customers.
look, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that everybody in this space does their best to genuinely service their customers. Some can do it differently than others, and some in more effective ways than others. And what I mean by that is that we have a lot of accounts out there, and I don't mean me or XPEL, I mean collectively, that have a desire to be serviced in a specific way. Some like constant visits, some like dinners, some like blow up dolls, Tim Ham. Um, you know, some like whatever. And I won't lie to anybody and pretend that XPEL can meet everybody's expectation. I've met accounts that literally said, I want to see you at least once a month. And I'm like, look, I have 300 accounts counting. That was when I was a rep. And you're going to be seeing me once or twice a year. But I'm really good on the phone. I'm good on text messages. And then because we've got so many pieces to help us with customer support and CARs and then managers and what have you, that hopefully our clients do feel that they're serviced in a way good enough for us. Oh my God, Trips here too, man. There's just a whole whack of people. It's awesome. So yeah, but thank you for the compliment. I do appreciate it. Look, we try.
Well, it's got to be fair to everybody. I mean, and I'm not just saying this because I am XPEL, dealer, but I'm saying this as film. We try to do the whole industry. We got Mother Marion in here. We got Heidi who's working with Autobahn. We got a mix of dealers in here, so it's all around. But a lot of people don't look at it as that. They want to separate it, and I think a lot of the industry lately has been trying to unify the industry. Everybody's trying to support each other. Everybody's trying to help each other out and promote positivity over negativity. We were just actually in a Monday morning motivation meetup this morning. We were just talking about that. It's like, hey, if we make a group that's all about complaining, you know how many complaints we will have, but what is that going to do for anybody, right? So
Absolutely. Look, we're all competitors, in the film space and the coatings and chemical space. And, at the end of the day, we're all trying to obviously gain as much clientele as possible. And there's different business models, right? XPEL's got one where maybe it doesn't suit everybody, where, in order to become an account in a congested area, as long as there's some room, you've got to be fully XPEL and nothing but. For some people that works, for some it doesn't, and when it doesn't, guess what? There's a lot of other great brands out there that are willing to take on that client instead. But there's just no need to have the kind of infighting and degradation and what have you that maybe has happened historically. And I'm glad where things are at right now, to be honest with you, and just super stoked for 2026. 2025, if we want a brief overview for XPEL in particular, is going to become, of course, once again, a record year for us. Our revenue report that we came out with for Q3 was amazing, and I'm sure that Q4 is gonna hopefully hit all the numbers and metrics that the investors were asking for. We'll see, but amazing year, lots of great development. I think that for most of our clients, the app has been probably the number one thing that they love. You can do everything from warranty registrations to taking photos of damages on cars to deal loading to scanning VINs from your cell phone, decoding the VIN. You can order all your parts. You can see all the new kits that we upload every single day. I mean, The training videos are all in there, and it's changing literally every week. So that's been the most exciting thing for us. XDC is coming up in what, just over a month now.
Yeah, just a little bit over 40 days.
Yeah, super excited for that. We've got an amazing guest speakers. We've got amazing breakout sessions. I do want to apologize. I know that every year there's a number of people that try and attend that are not XPEL. Keep in mind that this thing sells out. And so I don't want to be, of course, rude, but we can only take on people that are XPEL specifically. And so that's always a little bit of a bone of contention, but I hope everybody can appreciate that.
Nice, nice. So, how many people are able to attend XPEL XDC?
There's typically, including some staff, of course, because remember we got staff that have to work it as well. Typically around 1,000 people in total.
Wow, 1,000 people. That's more than some of these events happening out there.
Yeah, but XPEL's been doing it since whatever. I don't know when they started their first dealer conference, mind you, but they've been around since the 90s. Not nearly as old as like Eastman Chemical or 3M company for sure. Maybe they've been having conventions even longer. But yeah, um,
I think Wild Bill was saying that 2002, if I'm not mistaken, at one of the last couple XDCs.
I feel like the last
Gentleman
one
from
he
East
was telling
Florida.
us it was like 23 years of them that he's been to or something, right? I think.
he's been to
Yeah,
every single dealer conference we've ever had. Uh-huh.
yeah, man. So that was so I want to say it was like 2002, if I'm not, mistaken. Because talking to him, I think that was this year that we talked to him, and he was like, he was saying about 23 years. So we kind of go back. I think that's like 2002. So Ryan kind of remembers the 23 more than me, but I kind of remember the year. I think was, um, and he's always sitting up in the front. So I've been to a couple of them already. So it's like, okay, hey, now you get to know who Wild Bill is. For the
Yeah.
people that are expelled, they know who they are. But some of these people in the comments in their life may not know. But anyways, what is up for expel 2026? What do you guys got cooking? What do you guys
Yeah.
want to share, and what do you want to highlight? Like, I know you guys came out with the color PPF.
Mhm.
It looks really good. You guys put a really expensive car at SEMA to let people scratch it and have fun with it. And then on top of that, you had the owner stand right there and bear it all, which I thought was really a nice touch.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, Hezzy's a really good friend of mine, and he gives us the hypercars for every show. And so this year we had the Pagani, WeAre, Imola Roadster, one of 8 manufactured. Their $7 million car before you get started on the options. That one had a $350,000 paint option alone. So it was a $10 million retail car, and it's worth easily double that now since you can't get them. Then we also had BMW in the booth. So that's obviously really exciting to announce that BMW is officially launching an XPEL program in the year 2026. And we can't reveal all the details on that. We actually can't reveal any more details than we did at SEMA. But regardless, by brand name, which is awesome, amazing to hear them stating that it's our name that's going on the product. I'm sure you guys also saw that Mazda was in the booth, and they also made a similar announcement that they've gone and made the decision to use XPEL products by brand name. Some kind of program should be rolling out in 2026. And then what maybe people didn't know that weren't at SEMA is that a few days later there was the LA Auto Show. And at the LA Auto Show, Jeep has announced a really exciting new product. If you guys haven't seen this new product coming out, it's called a Recon. Kind of looks like a baby Hummer, like H1 met Jeep, met a Bronco. Really, really beautiful machine. Dual motor electric machine, 650 horsepower, something like that, or whatever they would call it in electrical terms. 0 to 60 is like 3.4 seconds. So the head of that program, Amir. By the way, shout out to Serge. Serge is the gentleman that actually put Amir in touch with us because Amir wanted to do a. He was very specific that he wanted to do an XPEL program only, and wasn't interested in any brands, not to be disrespectful. Of course, there's some other amazing brands out there, but that was a really good feather on our cap. So they announced at the LA Auto Show that they were bringing out a program in 2026 as well, and everything is pointing towards March. Should be the launch of that. And so again, this is common knowledge. I'm not saying anything that's going to that I can get in trouble for, because I tend to do that too much as it is and just tell everybody everything. And then also, Hyundai Kia Genesis was at the LA Auto Show making the same declaration. But to be fair, Hyundai was, or Kia, I think I should say, was at the SEMA show the year before and was obviously alluding to that, and that hasn't come to fruition as of yet. So, like always, look, nothing's done until it's done. You guys know already that we work with a ton of manufacturers, of which almost none of them stated that it's our name. I think that historically brands have been very apprehensive to say which product is being used on vehicles. Um, so I do have to steer clear of those, but I think that all the 8 or 9 other brands that we're already doing, after seeing the success of the Rivian program, and of course we're really looking forward to the launch of the R2. And seeing, of course, the amazing success of the Tesla program. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, guys, there's months where we generate over $4.5 million in revenue for our customers just in the Tesla program alone. Like, think about that. So, all these OEM platforms that are coming out are really exciting for us, because it just lends a lot more credence to the brand itself, a lot more awareness, but a lot more awareness for all of us. Let's be clear. I mean, this is going to help out every brand out there. I remember when we grabbed the first deal, which was the Rivian deal, my good friend Manny reached out to me about 2 weeks later and said, "Thank you." And I was like, "Man, why are you thanking me? Like, you're 3M. Like, I'm kind of surprised to hear from you regarding a thank you." And he goes, "No, because, now by them offering this stuff on the vehicle build, there's a lot of consumers that never heard of this."
Right.
So, it definitely launched a lot more awareness. And so I think that, again, this is just good for everybody. I mean, obviously, when we have our brand name in there, it's better for us, for sure. But at the end of the day, it's cyclically helping out everybody, because there's a lot of, I mean, I think if you walk down the street and said, "Do you know what paint protection film?" I don't even know if 4 to 10 people are going to be able to answer that question. So, that's a big one. Um, the windshield film that was launched to insane fanfare is being updated to an even better product than it already was. We've been testing it with our corporate stores now for 2 months or so, and it's kind of interesting because in the north, the windshield film, unbelievable. But in the South, you could see an issue or inconsistency where you would have like a windshield. I'll give you a really good example. We're in Texas, right? My wife's got her car and I've got my car. Both cars sit outside the garage because I have too many toys inside the garage. We both have an automated car wash subscription to the same one. It is one with bristles, by the way. Remind me about that in a few more minutes if I forget about it. But the weird part was that there was customers complaining about like how the windshield film would like kind of like show pitting or some kind of distortion over period of time faster than we expected. And I was sitting there going, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I live in Texas and it's perfect. And I've been on my car now for like whatever, 10 months or something. And yet my wife's actually had the issue. So can't tell you what created it because it doesn't make any sense. Because again, like everything else is equal other than the vehicle itself and the angle of the windshield, which was minimally different if so. So anyways, new windshield film coming out. As you mentioned already, the colored films are doing amazing. I will let a lot of people down right now. There's a lot of people are saying, when are you coming out with more colors? I don't know that we are. Cash and sorry, I can't see whoever else is on here very well because I'm on my phone, so forgive me. But
Brian.
oh, how you doing, brother? So sorry. So
he's got the shirt to kind of hide his name, so like
There
his
we
name is
go.
in there.
There we go.
Oh,
So
Right? It's kind of like hidden with it. He's
there we
called
go.
the assassin for a reason because he likes to be stealth.
Yeah, so look, with the color film, when we have really good relationships with a lot of the very large color film manufacturers, the really big ones. And when we went and asked them, what does the sell-through ratio look on the colors? Like, you've got 100 plus colors. What is the sell-through ratio like? They're like, look, like 80 to 90% sell in 8 colors or less. And then the crazy part is that of all film sold, 50%, most of them said 50% are in black. Now, maybe they're saying matte black included with gloss black. I don't know. I didn't get that far into the weeds, but regardless, black is 50%. So, like, people are like, well, when are you going to come up with a bunch more colors? I'm like, look, I could, but then I'm going to have a bunch of it sitting on the shelf. And that means that it's not going to sell. It means I'm going to have to throw it out at some point. It means I'm going to have to raise the price on the film in order to recover my costs. So I just don't know that it's worth it. So, considering that the colors that we have right now are the colors that are selected by Tesla in particular, to be part of their platform, we probably won't see a lot more, maybe another 3 or 4, and we'll probably take a flyer at colors every so often. Um, what else is happening? The finance integration has been really cool. So if you guys don't know what that is, for those in those accounts that do wholesale work, one of the biggest struggles you have is getting the finance office to A, offer it consistently, and then B, contract it. And so think about this. Right now, the banks are tough on lending. I think we all know that. So, like, let's say you have $100,000 car, and because it's cash and he's got amazing credit, they're like, well, we're, instead of 100 grand, we'll give you 130 grand on that car. And then because it's Chris Hardy and he's got terrible credit, we're only going to give him 105. Well, that means that the finance manager has to sit there and think about what can they sell within that 5 grand that they have maxed out. And what'll end up happening is they're going to take their easiest path, right? Or maybe their more profitable path than our products. Well, when you get an e-contract, a lot of times what that means is the bank will take determination that the car is of a higher value than the 100 grand. Maybe you got a full body paint protection film for $8,000, so they'll call it $108,000 instead. And don't get me wrong, that's not all banks. It's some banks, some not. But the e-contracting is now a big part of our play. We got an exclusive contract with the company that oversees this. And then we have another really cool one, again, all related to wholesale work, and that is the financing. If you talk to most accounts in North America and you say, how would you like to get into wholesale work? One of their pain points is that they're worried that they don't have the ability to float a $50 or $100,000 to a dealership to wait to get paid. They just can't afford it.
That's the biggest
So
pain in also. It is.
yeah, and then even collecting it, like you're like, hey, I sent you the invoice. Where's my money? Well, it's missing the PO. Well, I sent you the PO. Well, it's missing the RO number. And I send all of that, and then they change the, the accounts receivable or accounts payable person, and you got to start all over again.
Yep.
It's a difficult thing, and I again, with Dave and I doing this for so long, it was one of our pain points as well. Well, XPEL has a program called Payment Solutions, whereby you use an app on the phone, and you literally can invoice the dealership the minute that you completed the work. Your installer could, instead of you or whoever, they can send the PO, they can send pictures of the work being done, they can send a picture of the stock number, whatever the dealership needs, whatever the dealership requires. But then the cool part is that you're paid in your bank account, ACH, typically less than 24 hours later. And then if from then on, it's Payment Solutions that's responsible for the money. So there's no clawback, there's no situation where you have to worry about chasing them for the money, or if they don't pay the bank, the Payment Solutions, nothing happens to you. As long as you met the requirements that that dealership requires for the invoice, you're paid 24 hours later, or approximately. So, just really, really cool stuff to help solidify dealership opportunities. And look, because we're becoming so much more ingrained in OEM platforms, a lot of accounts are recognizing this. A lot of accounts are saying, "Hey, I really need to I really need to chase that wholesale work now when I didn't want to before." And so, we're trying to just make it as simplistic and easy on them as possible. So I think that that's the culmination of the majority of the super exciting things that we have going on, that I can reveal right now. Oh, mind you, there's also some coding updates coming. So like everybody on planet Earth loved the V2 coding, right? Our premium V2, the way that it flashes, the way that it levels, all that jazz. But to be fair to everybody, the 4-year coding that we originally brought out was the one that a lot of people struggled with. It had a very short flash time, maybe 15 seconds or so, 30 seconds in the right conditions, 5 seconds in the wrong conditions. And all of us that have ever done any sort of coding installation can attest to the difficulty then and not sending out someone that's going to end up with tiger striping or high spotting or something. So like a lot of people hated our 4-year coding, and we got a lot of negative publicity as a result of that. Now you did have other accounts like AP3 right down in your neck of the woods that to this day spends well over $100,000 a year with me in coatings, and they love the 4-year from beginning to now. Still the same product. But that one in particular, we should see the updated V2 version of that, kind of like the premium. I get to play with it this coming week, so I'm excited. But I'm hearing that that's going to be released around the end of Q1. Sorry for the verbal diarrhea. I think I just got out too much all at once. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. Throwing a lot of information out there. So, like, that's the whole point of having this podcast is throwing information out so people can soak it up. And we appreciate that. Now you're also gonna be partnering up with us in Film Fest in May, and
All
for
right.
the first time ever, we're gonna have a boat
That's right.
inside the booth. So I'm really
That's right.
excited about that because when we were talking about that opportunity to kind of collaborate with you guys with the Film Fest and do a boat, I'm still imagining. I think that thing is gonna be badass. We just enter and there's a boat inside a tent competition. Uh, I think that's just gonna be kick ass. I was just talking to Mike, and Mike's like, "Man, I'm trying to get a badass boat for it. We'll definitely have,
Oh, we'll get a badass boat for it. Don't you kid yourself.
So
I
now,
got, I got, I think I saw, no, he's not on here. No, forget it. Anyways, yeah, to your point, first of all, congratulations on Film Fest. I'm super stoked for you guys. I know that obviously there's been some disruption inside this ecosystem of installers being helpful to one another and some of the organizations that are part of that. Obviously, I'm saddened by it, of course, because at the end of the day, you're looking for a lot of opportunity for everybody to get along and so look, Film Fest and is going to be an awesome event. Ryan Townsley, who you guys all know, was the owner of Protective Film Solutions, who sold out to XPEL a couple years back now, is in charge of the Marine Division for Global. And then Jason Carr is my North American rep. Of course, don't get me wrong, Ryan spends a lot of attention on North America as well with them. So yes, we're going to have a boat there. Our marine products are doing extremely well, as long as they're installed correctly. I mean, look, one of the things that you need to take away from this is that you just can't install below the water line. And when I say that, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because David and I used to do mastercrafts all the time, and we would do the transom, right, the back end of the boat, because what would happen is the wakeboards would come in behind and then it would slam into the back of the boat and scuff up the back of the boat. So we were just doing the whole back. But that's not facing the water in terms of like at speed and stuff like that and what have you. And it's freshwater too versus saltwater. And again, before Ryan Townsley starts blowing up my cell phone saying no below the water line, I get it. But to be candid with you, the marine was the highest growing division percentage wise for XPEL globally. And then it was awesome because you got to see some other brands enter the foray at SEMA. They announced their own marine divisions.
Right.
So yeah, and so like that whether they were already planning that or they decide to do that as a result of XPEL, who cares? It's really good to see this market go next because it is an untapped market where these boats need coverage 100% for sure. They probably need it more than a car does. And so to see some competition in that market and help again make some awareness happen and some some product identity happen would be awesome. So yeah, I'm excited for the event for sure. I'm going to obviously try and attend it myself, if possible, especially because it's the first one, and I'd love to be there for it.
We'd love to have you. I mean, it's gonna be a really cool facility. I think if you do attend it, you'll really enjoy the facility because the venue we picked for this is, I think the experience at the venue alone is gonna be phenomenal for the attendees. Um,
Yeah.
and we're also, I don't know if this was sent out in the memo or not, but we're also reaching out to local trade shows. So we're gonna be the first show ever to offer free admission to any trade show student
Cool.
to come out and try
Hold
to
on, you guys want to see King Jeffries is here with me? Come around. Who's on the call? Oh, there's a fucking whackload of people from all over North America.
what's going on, man.
Well, this is just I don't know if you know Cat because you don't play in any of these spaces. You don't give a shit about this stuff. This is Rick Jeffries. This is the co-owner of Automotive Elegance and talking to the whole world right now on a pod. Come on over, everybody, come over and say hello. Sure. Uh, here. And just put 20 points, but I need the receipts. Of course. Thank you. Sorry, guys.
No, you're
Um,
good. You're good. You gotta take care of that 20 points. That's important.
Well, listen, Rick is not shy about using my credit card, but when he spends millions of dollars a year with me, I wouldn't be shy either.
Hey, man, service is definitely deserving. Even when it comes down to even our industry, like having that. Hey, and I talk about Mike Burke talks about this a lot. He's like, man, you really need to push that tips for your guys because they work their ass off, and if it helps them out a little bit, it's just a little extra stuff with it. Like maybe they can buy some beer, maybe they can do something extra with their family with that little extra money. It's just always fun to receive that, and people feel good about it, and it's the job of the leaders to kind of push on that. So I always love
If you want, I'll add to that for you, Cash. I have an interesting story regarding that. It actually has to do with Mike Burke. So, like, as you know, he had the square set up, right? And then I go do some rounds in Charlotte back in the day when I was his rep. And I see this thing that they would turn to the client to sign and then offer a tip. And I was like, oh wow, like what an amazing idea. And it's crazy because psychologically, when you think about it, people love to give a tip. And if you don't know why, there's a very strong reason for it. It's not necessarily about the fact that they think you did such a great job. That is definitely a part of it. But the other part of it is that it makes you ingratiated to them. Okay. So it's a psychological thing where now it's like, hey, there's a stronger inner feeling amongst the two of us where I owe you and you owe me and we're closer together, we're more bonded than ever before. And now also if I tip you and then I have this like extra need beyond what I paid for, maybe hey, I'm not happy about this. Could you? The intention or the belief is that now you're going to take care of me like nothing because we made this extra connectivity through tips. So where I'm going with this is that he used to have these two individuals running his Concord store named Charles and Jessica. Well, Charles was what he would call, what he would have termed a part owner. I think that more appropriately, he was probably more like a general manager, and he got to profit share, maybe better language. And as a result, he felt awkward. He was like, Chris, I can't get into the tipping. Like they know that I'm the guy, and I'm like, Charles, like you're missing the psychological reason behind tipping. And not only that, but like you have other people in here as well that you could tip out to, right? You could share the tips. So He's like, all right, Chris, I'll take your word for it. He turned the tips on. And then later in his first week, he got like a $2,100 in tips in a week. And
Wow.
and he was like, Chris, you know what the crazy part is? The customers seem happier that they paid more. And I'm like, yes, it's that psychological feeling of goodness that I'm like, let me give to the little guy. I don't know. Like, and it was astounding at how fast it changed their opinion.
People ultimately want to do good because you get that feeling of doing something good, right? So whether it's somebody small, somebody big, it's just like, okay, hey, I didn't have to, but I went and I did something extra, right? It's just like that's all it is. It's that inside feeling, hey, I helped out, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to help out, whether they're a prick or not. Everybody wants to help out. They want to feel good about it. So
Yeah, look at
and
Trip. Look at Trip's comment. Those almost pay my rent every month. Like I believe it.
I mean, I mean, some of the tips are really, really good tips. I kid you not. Sometimes I'll look at the tips that come in, and I'm like, oh my god, um, we push on, we don't push on it, and we're not in a great area. I know if we were in a better area, we would get better tips on it for sure. But the people that do tip, man, it's phenomenal. There's been times where you get decent sized tips out of it, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. It's more than 20%, and it feels good. But it helps with having that turnaround. And and I'm now just thinking about, like, when we do the flag glass, I really want to just take that thing, because when you just have it there instead of just sending them final bill because you can't add a tip to it, it would just be so much nicer. Hey, you want to slide your card, and if you want to add a tip to it.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I think Mike Burke word tracked it for me. It was something to the effect of like, hey, look, if you're really satisfied with the work, obviously tips are optional. Just keep in mind that we don't take any of it. We give 100% off to the employees. Man, who's gonna feel now? Wouldn't you even feel guilty? Never mind if you didn't tip at that point. And again, obviously, if you receive poor service or something like that, now you even feel like you have a little bit more control too. Like, you know what? I'm not tipping you because you didn't do a good enough job. Well, maybe you should take that into account as an owner, operator, and be
Right.
like, hey, like, what did I miss that the person's feeling like that the teammates didn't deserve anything?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a positive way of looking at it. Is like, hey, how can you improve and how can you help the guys out as well too? Because obviously, like I said, the customer feels good, but the employees feel better too. They're like, hey, man, we got some extra on it, so it's a win-win situation. But
Oh, there's Bivens, man, my brother. Love you, boy. Haven't seen you in forever.
he's wanting you to run for president, man. There you go.
Listen, I don't
Well,
think
he's
I'd take
already
on.
vice president, man.
I,
So
I
he's almost
I don't
there.
think I could take on Trump. I don't have it in me to call everybody names.
Oh man, awesome, awesome. Well,
Uh,
the bristle thing. Did you want us to remind you of that bristle thing for the
yeah, sure.
call?
Let me talk to you about this. This is kind of interesting. So, as all of us that are in the film world know, chemicals in particular can have a really big negative impact on film. And so, in particular, it's really where most probable issue is when it has a pH that's drastically imbalanced. Now, you have a lot of chemical companies out there saying pH neutral. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean necessarily that the chemical is safe to put on top of your vehicle. But what I am saying is that there's a lot of really negative chemical out there. Well, I got schooled recently by James Melfi, one of our product managers who's in charge of our film division. And I was listening to him, and he was talking to a Penske dealership group that as you know, we have an exclusive contract with them to be their supplier or preferred client contract or whatever the heck they call it. Anyways, and he was like, "Hey, if you're going to use a car wash, make sure you use ones with the bristles. Wait, what? Like, I've been telling everybody for years, use the touchless, right? The ones that don't have the bristles. And then he said, no, no, no. He said, think about it. In order to clean the car off, no bristles, what's it going to have instead? And he said, really, really harsh chemicals. And I went, ah, whoa, ding, 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 good point. So if you have film on your vehicle and coating, then the real recommendation is to use a bristle touch car wash and don't get any of the extras. Do not get the ceramic coating that's an extra $5 a month with the package. Okay. You're not doing yourself and your film any favor. But yeah, I was, that's a, I've been in this business, guys know, for quite some time and thought I knew everything. And of course, that's never true when I talk with my dear friend Manny beside me, because he literally knows everything. But yeah, bristle car wash instead of touchless. Yes,
Wow.
there we go. Who is that
I
that's saying
thought
that?
I
Adonic.
thought Bristol car wash. I thought was okay. Don't do any car washes, but you're saying go ahead and hit that bristle.
Look, at the end of the day, as long as the shop is heat locks of their film, then the film should not have an issue. I'm not saying it would take it through a car wash during the first 2 weeks while it should be curing in full. But what I am saying is that I take my car through a car wash almost well, let me be fair. Every day that I'm home, and it's a weekday, I go into the office. So on the way in, I stop up at the car wash. You signed for me, didn't you? Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, can you put the two beside each other? The credit card and the itemized? Thank you. After you filled in the whatever the totals are. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Um, so yeah, it's very interesting to learn something. I mean, I'm always trying to learn something. I think it's our industry in particular is just so amazing, and the product development is constantly evolving, and the platforms, the software platforms, and everything else going with it is just awesome. The business is just amazing. What can I say?
Junior is asking any advice on advertising from you.
Okay, so look, for me, the number one thing is always Google SEO. I think that if you don't have a really nice website, that's actually where you should start, because, your Google SEO is going to lead to your website. And if your website looks like crap, or it's got brands in there that are outdated or what have you, then, you should modify that. And then social media is incredibly important. But what I would say is that, unfortunately, what are we attracting? Typically, now it's becoming a more tech savvy client than ever before, right? This is just as time goes on. That's true for all of us, regardless. And so you got to remember that the attention spans are shortening with all this opportunity to watch things through TikTok or Instagram, what have you. So, what I would say is spend a lot of effort on the story, on your story, on your social media, on the shorts, the reels, whatever you want to call them. It's amazing that I was screaming at my old partner, Dave Glendenning and Julian Nasadik, for the last 3 years about they're not doing good enough with the social media. And so they went ahead and they finally hired a company that is producing, I think, 10 videos a month, if I'm not mistaken. And then they're posting them within their reels and what have you. And they said that the response that they've been getting is like nothing they've ever seen before. And I said, great. I said, that's right now. Just always be ready for whatever comes next, because, gone are the days of, radio and television ads making much of a difference. So, yeah, I think that to me, Google SEO is the number one space to spend money, assuming the website is nice, and then just organic material for your social media. Quick channel stuff is excellent.
Nice, nice. Marketing
Any,
advice from Chris Hardy, man. Like, how do you want to be the next expel?
listen, I had a dealership guy reach out. Well, I was with Kristen Kudo, who's one of the rock stars up here in the Massachusetts area, who's the rep, and we went to some dealerships, and it was amazing to me that finance directors were asking me, like, how did you end up being the vice president of XPEL? Like, what led to that? And I was like, to be honest with you, I started where you guys are, started in the car business, and then ended up with an operation with Dave, which was very successful before I got there, and then we made it even that much more successful, and then got recruited out of my own operation by XPEL, and here we are, right? 8 years later, and love and life, man. What can I tell you? It's freaking awesome.
I want to go
Yeah.
back on one other question that
Go
you
ahead,
kind of addressed a little
as
bit
much as you
earlier.
want.
No, and I know Mother Marion's in here as well too, and another 3M does a great job, and EPD does a great job on doing awareness and social media.
Hold on one
Uh,
second, Cash. I'm just gonna say goodbye to somebody. One sec.
yes. I guess I'll put the wheel up
Yes,
in the meantime so we can
for
start
sure.
getting some
Sorry,
feedback, right?
Cash. Go ahead. Ask the question. I apologize.
No, no, you good, you good. Like for the industry, your advice for the whole industry, not just individuals and stuff. I know I've been talking about this. I know a lot of people have been talking about this. Is the education is very important for people, and you kind of brought this up a little bit because you said today's consumer is more aware and they have more tools on their hand to, you know, get information. What would you what would you like to see the industry do to educate more customer, to bring more awareness to the products as that we offer, to like better educate the whole industry and the consumers?
Look, I mean, if I had my true wish, it would be that every other brand would spend, you know, not to sound rude, but you know, a quarter of what I spend per year in direct to consumer marketing. But that's not necessarily every other brand's intention. So it's kind of like selfish. My answer, I think, to be candid. Um, the only way that a consumer is going to know more about it is marketing of some kind, right? And like, look, XPEL started with grassroots marketing, local car shows and things like that, migrated into all the different platforms that we have now. And there's many more still. Are we still there?
Yeah, yeah, we're still here.
Okay, sorry. And there's many more coming, right? We have a lot of announcements coming up this year for more marketing plans, but we can't reveal those until XDC. But just some really, really exciting things. So I mean, unless you're going to do that, then it comes down to the store level. So what I would love is then from the store level to be consistent in message, and I would like them to be consistent in message for the brand that they're representing. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because, obviously I want as many people as possible to be XPEL. But look, at the end of the day, we still have a really high turn down rate, not to be disrespectful, but because maybe we have too many accounts in any given area and we decide that we don't want to bring another one on. That's typically the main reason for, it's our number one reason by far for not bringing on another account. So I still think, though, as you know from me previously, Cash, that if a store is, let's say, 3M, they should be 100% 3M. If a store is Autobahn, they should be 100% Autobahn. Steck, Suntech, Lumar. I think that where we really lose the client is not standing behind the brand that we're servicing. People will say, well, you should brand yourself. And I say, bullshit. You should co-brand yourself, but to not be responsible for improving the customer's awareness of a brand in particular that you're using is short-sighted in my opinion. And then more short-sighted is using multiple brands because there's absolutely no trust whatsoever in the idea that you're going to recommend brand A for my car and brand B for yours and brand C for Brian's, right? That's ludicrous. No customer on planet Earth is going to trust that. So, as a direct result of trying to improve the overall awareness for the market, it's to be brand singular and then co-brand what you're doing. And like, look, am I going to say that every one of us doesn't have a fault? Every one of us does. You have something to bitch about XPEL, got it. You have something to bitch about any other brand, Suntech, Lumar, got it. I hear you. But don't voice your shit online because now with all the AI, all you're doing is making yourself look really bad because most consumers, as we know, do not like dealing with operations that just shit talk. Right? I think that it's fair that if we were out there and we were going, man, I feel like maybe checking out this restaurant and like that I'm at tonight, all they did was badmouth the competitor, we'd be like, I'm not going to that restaurant at all. Right. And I think that a lot of the customer base that we deal with is maybe missing the point on that. They're not regulating themselves effectively, I think is a better way. They could communicate with their brand specifically, right? Like if you have a problem with XPEL, look, I had one in Calgary right now that's going on. They emailed, they asked if they could speak to me. No problem. Let me get on the phone. We started the conversation today. I haven't finished it. Got to get on the phone call tomorrow and finish it up. Don't get me wrong. I don't typically do that, except it's already gone through the management below me. But what I'm getting back to is like you want awareness, especially as you talked about earlier, Cash, with all the automotive, the AI. Then you've got to do a really good job at making consumers aware of exactly what it is, why you have it, and what you're selling it for. Be back in 1 second. King Jeffries is leaving.
No problem. Go ahead.
Tony, I knew that.
Okay, bro, fucking great, man. Come on, XDC.
Yes.
Did we took care of it already? It is taken care of. Okay. Thank you. Love you. Sorry, guys. So yeah, that's my there's my answer. I hope you. I mean, it's sorry because it was sort of like goes all over the place as usual with me. Sure, you guys know that already. But
Well, one thing I do
yeah,
appreciate about you is you're straightforward. You're gonna say it like it is, and that's one of the best part. You know, this is probably like third or fourth podcast we've done together in the last couple of years, and it's always enlightening to have you on here because you shoot it straight. You know, and you're always like, hey, I'm not gonna be politically correct on it.
thank you. Love you. Yeah, I mean, to your point, you know, even as a VP, love you, brother. Thank you so very much. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna go see Boston Rob tomorrow.
Boston where?
Boston Sunstoppers, Boston.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in years. And I'm gonna go to the XPEL installation shop, see that team.
All right, well, if you want to see something really cool, let me know. Like,
That sounds even better. Thanks, brother. You know, like to your point, Cash, like, look, let's not be disrespectful to the other brands about this though, okay? We need to keep in mind that a lot of the other brands have a lot of restrictions put in them in front of them to be able to come on platforms like this and speak so openly. And keep in mind as well, right? Especially if they're publicly traded, you got a lot of people who are super concerned about you saying the wrong thing and the stock, you know, goes up or down as a result of people hearing something different they wanted to hear or whatever, and then you're being held accountable for it. So like you got to be careful.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, you know, even my senior leadership, right, Ryan Pape, the CEO, or Tony Rimas, my boss, are always 100% happy with the stuff that I say on these podcasts. But to your point, I say it like it is. I don't hold back, and I try to keep myself out of legal trouble, and yet still be honorable to the idea of what the podcast is. The podcast is not meant to be filtered. The
Right.
podcast was not meant to be a let's script a TV show and let's
Right.
tell you what you're going to say and hop on there. It is a real live one-on-one or multiple people platform to deliver honest messaging. And you know, there's even individuals that don't like it. There's people on here that are, who knows, not appreciating some of the things that I'm saying. And look, they're all very entitled to their opinion. But even as a VP, they you know they know that I'm just going to be me.
I mean, I don't think you've ever done anything that's crazy enough where Expel be like, "Hey, man, you just went off the walls." I think sometimes it's it's talking about uh, being in your position that's always a little bit sensitive is some of the subjects you're able to talk freely about, right? So like there's other people I've reached out to, I've talked to, and it's like, man, I've got to get authorization if I can talk and this and that. And that's what one of the things I wanted to kind of just point out is that with you've always said it, even if I'm not allowed, I'm gonna go ahead and address it anyways. And that's one of the things I liked about always doing the podcast with you is you've been always forward with it, right? Like you always been straight talk on it. And if it's something very sensitive and you're not able to talk about it, you're just gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna comment on that one, but here's my opinion. You always still give your opinion, which is what I always love about it, is that you always do that. I appreciate that. I just wanted to say that. And this is what I love about podcasts, is what you just did. It's not rehearsed, it's not like scripted, it's whatever's flying out. And then especially to be able to do it with the comments like we have on the screen, to be able to just kind of engage with the audience. I love this part about podcasts is just because we're able to talk about whatever we want, we're able to address things, but we're also able to enlighten and upbring our community.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And that's why I think your platform's excellent. I mean, Cash, you've been doing this for a long time. You and I both know you do an excellent job with this. Obviously, there's some other great ones as well, but at the end of the day, this is a great platform for our community to, hear from multiple individuals and then try and level up. My boss, I report to two people, right? Ryan and Tony. And 2025 for my team was the year of accountability. We put a lot of really cool things in place so that we could genuinely say, okay, you wanted to have more accountability and a more overall ability to do your own thing. We gave it to you. But to give that to you, this is what we need in return. Um, 2026 is level up. Really excited. Um, we've officially produced a job offer to Juan Maldonado to head up our inside sales trainer team. Juan is amazing at things like deep diving into any single piece that we use, whether it's HubSpot or Mapsly or product specifications or the addendum platform, the tech assured or the financing. It doesn't matter. He's the guy that wants to know it all. And then in his previous life, I don't know if you knew this about Juan, because I know you know who Juan is. He was a special needs educator, teacher. So you put that together with running his own business, owning his own business, selling his own business, training people within it's just like, man, like, so Juan is actually relocating to San Antonio. He's in the midst of looking for something already. And for 2026, we're going to call it the level up year. So, all of the team members will have a lot more overall awareness of everything that we do and everything that we have to offer, with the intention of trying to be that, as much as possible, one-stop shop for the clients, right? What do all of us hate? We hate when you don't have an answer and we want it right now. And then even more so if you say, I'll get back to you, and then you don't. That's the worst. So let's try and nip that in the bud from the beginning and level everybody up. So I think that, if you think about that for our overall community, just in general, that's an awesome mantra for 2026 in general.
I love that line, man. Level up, 2026 level up. I think that should be a headliner for everybody. It's like, hey, 26 level up.
No.
Now, is Juan gonna be at XDC? Is he gonna
Yes.
be doing anything special for XDC?
I don't know about that one yet, because to be candid with you, as you know, we start planning XDC the minute XDC is done.
Right.
I apologize because I don't want to. It sounds kind of like I don't want to sound dumb or whatever or rude on this. I am excited. Mike Burke, as you know, has a very successful podcast, and he is going to be doing his podcast at Dealer Conference.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing that's coming out. Um, there's an amazing guest speaker that's coming in. He's not the main guest speaker, surprisingly. Maybe he will be in the future, but he's out of England. And I want to tell you this quick little story. So you guys know how much, of course, I love jujitsu. I just got back from Brazil. I was down in Manaus for 10 days doing a very intense jujitsu fight training camp kind of thing, twice a day. It was just sick. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. Anyways, so Tony's like, hey, I've got this gentleman that we need to interview. Gonna bring him in. We want him to meet up with our sales team, do a little sales training, and then we're gonna have some breakout sessions with the guys. So I'm like, oh, cool, let's put him on. So, and he was recommended by somebody else. So we get on, and me and Tony and this gentleman we're interviewing him and going back and forth, and like the interview is done like half hour in, but like within like 2 minutes, I'm like, oh, for sure, like just like we all are, right? Like instantaneously, you just kind of knew, and I was like, this guy's awesome. So the interview's done. He's like, well, if it's okay with you guys, I need to get back to like some training, and I'm like, oh, what kind of training are you doing? Like, you know, he's like, oh, why do you ask? And, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, because I'm into training of a specific kind. I'm into like a martial art. He goes, oh, I'm into a martial art. I'm like, oh, cool, cool, cool. And what about you? And he stands up and he's got gi pants on. So I'm like, jujitsu. The guy goes, well, yeah. And I go, I'm a jujitsu black belt myself. I was Pan Am champion, American national champion multiple times, blah, blah, blah. And like, and he goes, oh, well, then you might like this. And he turns the camera around. And he's with arguably one of the most famous jujitsu people in the entire planet. His name is Roger Gracie. And then he's got Barilia Stima as well as a training partner. And they had gone, I think there was like 5 of them. They went off into the jungle somewhere and did like a 2-week fucking training session with each other the whole time. And so, as always, the day before dealer conference, on the Thursday night, we will be doing a jujitsu seminar with world champion Daniel Pinero, and this guy's going to join us. So I'm stoked, fucking stoked.
I can see it. You're stoked, but you're also kind of like stressing out a little bit. Like,
Oh man, listen, I gotta. I mean, this guy trains with like one of the best ever. And so I'm like, I don't know how tall he is, how big he is, because it was all on camera. And he's a black belt also, and he trains underneath literally like, I don't know if you could actually get better. So I'm not sure that this guy's gonna, but you know me, I'm fucking competitive. So I'm planning on putting a whooping on him before he comes in the next day and does his training. But maybe it'll be my ass that gets whooped. Who knows?
well, guys, you see here live, Hardy getting nervous about. Now, talking about XDC, you guys moved it up from February to January. Is this a permanent move moving forward? Or
There's no such thing as permanent in San Antonio.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're a slave to all of the other massive conferences that come in, and they tend to just literally swallow up like all the hotels. So every year we do our best with the schedule that's available to us. And the problem is the later you get into the year, the worse it is for the northern clients. Because once you get into the northern area, especially into Canada and stuff like that, their business suffers dramatically in December, January, and February. So you put it into like March, April, and that can be like literally 15% of their yearly revenue in a month. So, you should have the ability to step away from your business for a couple of days, especially as for something as dramatic and important as this. But a lot of people can't. They just can't get their head around it. So we are doing it in January, and January 22nd and 23rd, I think it is.
So okay, all right. That's I know some people were asking like, hey, if this is gonna be a permanent change, is it gonna be January? And I was starting to wonder myself too, because I know you guys typically like to stick with February. and then I know there was a year that it went into April, and I know you were like, how did this happen?
Yeah,
But
you're right. As a matter of fact, and by the way, Mike Watson, of course, as usual, holding me true. The 22nd is the jujitsu part, so that's probably the part that matters the most to me. Not true, but close. And then 23rd and 24th is actually the convention.
I was just gonna look that up, well, because I was like, I didn't think that those days were accurate either, so that's why I put my
Yeah.
phone out.
Just go ahead and book your flights. Don't worry about it.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, any last words? I'm gonna let you, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for coming out here, and addressing a lot of the stuff and sharing your knowledge and your experience with us, and also enlightening us on what's next for 26. But I love it, level up 26. Man, I'm gonna start saying that from now on. It's just level up 26.
Well, yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you, especially for being part of Film Fest. Being our first event and getting your support on it is huge, and we really appreciate it. When a lot of people see XPEL and a few of the other brands out there that support some of these things, they see the value that, hey, you guys are forecasting what's going to be happening in the near future, and you've been very successful with that, and I appreciate your support and your guidance whenever asked, and that's really important. Thank you so much.
look, it's my sincere pleasure, and thank you again for the invitation, the opportunity to participate in such a large level. I know that Autobahn's going to be there in a big way, so stoked for that. And I'm sure that EPD will be there in a big way. And, look, I think that the event overall is going to be obviously nothing but the top notch, and to be a part of it will be great. 2026 level up for sure. I think all of us could always, do a little bit of that. Some of us could do a lot. And then last but not least, thank you for the opportunity to be on here. To have an opportunity to communicate with everybody is nothing less than amazing. And I love just being a part of this thing overall. To me, there is a genuine need for us to look out for one another. And again, I realize that that's not always easy when we're also sometimes competitors. But at the end of the day, healthy competition done the right way is always good competition. And again, this community is so small that, think about it. We are a brother and sisterhood, and that's just a hardcore reality.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate that. And for the guys that are in the chats, the wheel is up for the giveaway. We got a couple giveaways before Chris exits. We'll have him spin the wheel. Um, and then I also do want to give a shout out to, since especially Chris is here, but we do our 2 weekly sponsors of the week, and this week's it is going to be Expel and Tinwiz sponsors of the week. And why is my screen not all the way it's supposed to be? Give me 1 second, guys. Oops. There we
Well,
go.
then, and Marion's saying, check my DMs. Miriam, I'm not sure which ones you mean because I'm on. Do you mean on Facebook Messenger?
Mother Marion, please clarify for Chris.
Because I'm
So
worried that she's saying something that I'm going to miss before hanging up. Oh, hold on.
I'll put the chats back on, but thank you, Expel and Tinwiz, for being sponsors of the week. And Chris, thank you so much on here. So, Joel, you want to get on the wheel? And Karen and Heidi, I got you guys. Anybody else? We'll get you on here, and then we'll spin this wheel, and we'll let Chris get on with his evening. Anybody else out there? Just let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle it. All right, Chris. Whenever you say go, we'll spin it for the first prize.
Oh, I like this. I get to partake in this? Yeah, go.
So we'll be giving away a surprise hat for film, and they might be one of those mystery new colors that Saints came out with. So it's gonna be a surprise to whoever wins. So it's most likely gonna be a hat that you have not seen yet.
Wow, there's my name on this thing?
It is.
It is?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
you can thank.
And I normally can't wear a hat, but he fucking makes nice hats, man. Like they normally look stupid on me, but his hats on me, I mean, they still look stupid, but they make me look the least dumb of any other hat.
I don't think anybody ever looks dumb in a hat.
Oh, dude, I got a little pinhead. Like
How
this
you
thing is
rack
too
it.
small for a hat. It's just like put the brim on it. It looks like it's like a duckbill.
Hey, but your smile makes up for everything, right?
Well, listen, I can pay for that. That was just a few thousand.
There you go.
When does this thing stop? Where's my name?
Well, your name is right there. You gotta tell me to spin it, and I'm gonna spin it.
I did tell you, go ahead and spin it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I apologize. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Spin.
Yeah.
There's the official spin.
It's rigged if my name comes up.
Joel.
Is that Joel?
There we go. All right.
Joel's got that special hat. Ryan, you got Joel down?
Yeah.
I know he's in the comics because he just put up there.
Yep.
Thanks to Chris for everything. All right. And then we're going to do one more. This is going to be for that film blanket. Wayne, I'm going to start with your name. So whenever Chris says it, and Wayne
Spin away,
Collins,
baby.
like
Spin
him,
away.
and
I got to see what happens now. This is too intense for me.
How cool it would be if it lands on your name. Rico, congratulations.
Rico. All right.
All right, Rico. So you got the blanket and Joel's got the hat. But we appreciate it, Chris. Thank you so much. This is always a little fun thing to kind of just do at the end, to kind of just give away a little stuff.
I love it.
And
I love it. But
once you
listen,
get-
and thank you for allowing me to be 20 minutes late, man. I'm really sorry about that.
No, man. We appreciate you still committing to it, man. I mean, that means a lot that you still came on. And look, you stayed on extra to kind of make up the whole hour. So we really appreciate that.
Done.
All right. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks,
Happy
guys.
holidays, and we'll see you next
Have a
week
good night.
Monday.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget, next week we got Mike Berg on as the guest, so it's gonna be a good one.